Good morning from Houston, Texas, United States of America. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International and the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite. Good morning. How are you all doing? How was your weekend? Yeah, here in the United States, we had a long weekend because yesterday was Labor Day. So we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to rest. And it was fun for me here. And I hope it was for you, wherever you are on the surface of the earth. Yes, every man got the right to decide his own destiny, like Bob Marley said. He said, in the judgment, there's no partiality. Listen. Every man got a right to decide. Yes, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I do not have a copyright to this music, but it's very important for my broadcast, and that is the reason why I'm using it. So inspire some people. So if you are just joining, please like, share, comment, and get your friends, fans, associates, well wishers, on board, to listen to a very special message. It's very, very, very special message. And in this judgment, there is no partiality. So arm in arms with arms, we fight this little struggle, children, cause that's the only way we can overcome a little trouble. So brother, you're right, you're right, you're right, so right. We go fight, we like to fight, we gonna fight, fighting for right. Mash it up in a Nigeria, mash it up in a Nigeria. Nigerians are liberate, Nigerians, Africans are liberate. Hey, no more internal power struggle. Come together. Let's do it. Trouble. Soon we find out who is the real revolutionaries. Cause I don't want my people to be contrary. So brother, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, sure. So right, we go fight. We gonna fight, fighting for right. Nigeria, whoa, whoa. Nigeria, Africa, America. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh. That's who we find out who is the real revolutionary. Cause I don't want my people to be tricked by mercenaries. Hey, so right, we go fight. We gonna fight. Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Africa, oh, Nigeria, Nigeria. Hey, good morning, the people of Nigeria, the people of Africa, the people of the world. Thank you. Once again, my name is Smart Mado Ajaja. I am the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. and the convener of Africa Unite and Open Nigeria. I am based in Houston, Texas, United States of America. By profession, I'm a registered nurse, highly decorated registered nurse in about 8 disciplines. I am a human and environmental rights activist with deep passion for socio-economic, civil and criminal, and environmental justice. Yes, I am raging for Nigeria, I'm raging for Africa, I'm raging for everywhere there is injustice, everywhere there is oppression. It doesn't matter where it is, we stand there. And that is why we decided to build this global movement, targeting young people from across the world to alter the dynamics that has held the whole of the world in captivity for a very long time. Let me say, as far back as the end of the second, what they call Second World War in 1945, the world has not been the same. I think the world, I saw a demonstration on Sunday that the people of the world can actually unite behind a common purpose driven by social justice. And that is what we want if for everywhere on earth, starting with Nigeria, Africa, the United States, Russia, China, and everywhere on the surface of this earth. The purpose for this broadcast today is to update you up, bring you up to speed about what is taking place in Nigeria, my home country, where I was born 62 years ago. 62 years ago, I was born in Nigeria. 62 years ago, you know, I look. People say I look younger than my age, but that is my age. I'm 62 years old. I was born 2 years after the Nigerian Greek gift of independence from Imperial Britain. Yeah, the nemesis of the global trouble that we are dealing with right now, Imperial Europe. I'm not saying that Europeans are bad. The leadership of Europe has been ugly for a very long time. They and the leadership of the Arab world, they have been so unfair, especially to Africa. So we want that trajectory to change. We want an Africa that will be respected. We want the black man that will be respected. We are not begging for it. We earn it. We can earn it, you know, because the world has been so unfair to us. So that is why I'm targeting to the younger generation, starting with the young generation of Africans, that they must stand tall wherever they are. Nobody is superior to you. You are as good, if not even better, than any other person, regardless of skin color or place of birth or circumstance of birth. So this is the reason why we must stand up. So much has taken place, and I will continue to give the rendition of it for the benefit of both the oppressed people of Africa and the descendants of the oppressors of the children of Africa. Africa went through slavery, 400 years of slavery, transatlantic slavery created by European imperialists. Yes, European traders who traded in human beings, who did not value the human lives of the African people. They treated us as dogs. And before that, we went through 700 years of slavery in the hands of the Arab, the transatlantic slavery, 700 years. And during those 700 years, all the male slaves from Africa were castrated. They castrated them. Yes, what the Arab leaders did. And they have not seen any reason to apologize for their heinous crimes against our humanity. And they are instead doing worse, doing more. So this is the reason why the people of Africa, yeah, listen to me, young people of Africa, you must wake up. You must wake up. You must wake up wherever you are. I don't care how hungry you are. You must wake up in defense of your space, in defense of Mother Africa, in defense of Nigeria, in defense of South Africa, in defense of Botswana, in defense of Zimbabwe, defense of Ghana, defense of Ivory Coast, defense of Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and wherever. It's time for the African Renaissance. It's time. No time could have been more auspicious than now. So that's what it is. Slavery, imperialism, then apartheid, colonialism, alongside apartheid. You know, the Dutch, they came, what they call Boers in South Africa, 1652, they came behind the prophecy that God gave them the land called South Africa in Africa, a country that has nothing to do with Europe, no connection. But they said that God gave it to them. They justified it with a verse in the Bible, their own Bible, that they edited for their own benefit. They used that for over 300 years to keep those people in cages until 1994, when the chains of apartheid broke. But the chain broke, but the poverty there did not break. Yeah, the people there, the black people there, still live in abject poverty. South Africa is a work in progress. And the whole of Africa is a work in progress. About 80 years ago, our founding fathers, those who fought for the decolonization of Africa, made a declaration, saw a vision, taking cognizance of all that is taking place today, to propose the emergence of a United States of Africa with one currency, without border, with one economy, and with one military. They saw all that is taking place right now. Very, very strong visionaries. But their visions did not immediately materialize. There were sabotages here and there created by the imperialists, who knocked all of them, the frontliners, one after the other out. They overthrew Kwame Nkrumah. They overthrew Sekou Toure, Modibo Keita. They did not make anything easy for them. And the later ones, they killed Samora Machel because of his involvement in the fight of against apartheid in South Africa. Mugabe was rubbished and made to look like he was a Satan. And we, the people of Africa, believed them. Because how they come is they demonize good leaders from Africa, those who stand up to them, those who refuse to do what they want them to do. They will demonize them. They will use their media. They make hell out of their countries. They set their people against them. They will destroy the economy. Yeah, that was what happened to Mugabe. Mugabe wasn't a bad man. He was a very good, the smartest African leader, the most educated African leader in his time. That was Robert Mugabe. But go back to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is in tatters today. Why? Because Mugabe resisted. He demanded for land for his people. He wanted the lands to be redistributed so that his people will be able to farm and produce food for themselves and for the country. Yes, and that's what they do. It's their tradition. That's what they try to do in Burkina Faso. Yes, with Traore. They did it and successfully killed Thomas Sankara, who stood up to say that to hell with France. Within 4 years of being in power, he turned the economy of Burkina Faso around. But who did they use? They used his best friend, Blaise Compaoré, to kill him, destroyed him. Blaise Compaoré was in power in Burkina Faso for 27 years as a French puppet. He did absolutely nothing but worsened the economy of the country, worsened the people's condition there. The people lived in abject and deplorable condition until they chased him out. And another one came until Ibrahim Traore came, a reincarnate of Thomas Sankara, doing great things. But you know what? 36 times they have attempted to kill that young man, 35-year-old man. Yes. They came to Niger. Niger said no. They were using Bazoum. They created Boko Haram. Yes, with the active involvement of Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria, the ex-president of Nigeria, and Bazoum. The Nigerian military guys saw this. They were tired of being massacred in the Sahel, and they rose up against him, seized power. France said to her, we are not going to leave. But the people of Niger came out in their numbers to say, yes, France, you must leave. And France left. That is what the new Africa should be about. That is what should be happening everywhere. We have the vestiges of puppets and colonialism and imperialism operating in those countries. And that is what must happen in Nigeria. That is what must happen in Nigeria. I am from Nigeria. I am a Pan-Africanist. I love Africa. I love the world. I love the United States that has given me an opportunity to have the space with which I am operating. Thank you for that. But I must not stop being an African. We want a free Africa. So today, you know what happened a few days ago in Nigeria? Nigeria has been going through serious national security crisis. People think it is a joke. Anyway, we are made to think that it's a joke, but some of us know what is happening. They can't fool me that is something, is banditry. Banditry is terrorism. It's like an armed robbery that will go away. No, it's not. It has been proven time and time again that Nigeria is on the way down the abyss unless we, the people of Nigeria, stand up to save our country. And that has been my message for a very long time. I've been talking to Nigerians since the past nearly 20 years, but they have not been listening. But progressively, things are getting out of control. Terrorists have taken over Nigeria. In the northeast is the one they call Boko Haram. Now, around the country now, they have spread. They come in a new name, nice name, Bandits. But they are the same thing, operating on the same ideology. Their mission is to occupy Nigeria violently. And they have done a great job at that. They are everywhere in Nigeria. They are in every bush. They are in every forest. They are in every farmland. They have driven our farmers off their farms. There's huge food insecurity in Nigeria that is being underreported by the international media because that's always their game. That's always what they are good at, to keep Africa as hell so they can jump on it and start telling us they are giving us aid. No, we don't need no aid. We want our security. Because of that, they put puppets in power in countries around Africa. Those with a bad criminal record, like Bola Tinubu, who was involved in drug dealing here in Gary, Indiana, United States of America, for which he faced trial here, and then did a plea bargain for which he paid nearly 500,000 US dollars. Yes. Then he was deported. He returned to Nigeria and became a senator. From being a senator, he became a state governor, from where he took over the whole of Lagos State, put Lagos State in his pocket. He was not satisfied yet. He wanted Nigeria. Somehow, by hook and by crook, he got Nigeria in his pocket. Now he's a puppet. That was why it was quick for them to ask him to go and attack Niger. Yes, and then they made him chairman overnight of ECOWAS. A new man who is just coming, a new kid on the block, in the ECOWAS sub-region, was immediately made chairman of ECOWAS. Now, thankfully, ECOWAS has died. Yes, ECOWAS has died. This is what they do. They love people with bad criminal records. And why? They can blackmail him and to do whatever they want him to do. They can't do that to me, because I'm going to ask you why. I will tell you no. I am an African. I will not allow you in to destroy my continent and my people. But Bola Tinubu has a bad record. Bola Tinubu knows that they can change their mind and then bring him to the United States for trial like they did Escobar. Yes, and Noriega. You see what I'm saying? So that is what they do. But the people of Nigeria, I'm appealing to you. I'm appealing to you. I'm appealing to you. Look inwardly. Look at yourselves. Look to your right. Look to your left. Look at our history. since independence. Look at our history. Go as far back as 1914 when they signed the amalgamation treaty. Yeah, that brought the so-called Southern and Northern Protectorate together. And what followed till independence and to where we are right now. Go back. I know that is the reason they removed their history from our academic curriculum. So our children, our young people will be idiots who don't know who they are. They remove history. But that history that they removed from our curriculum, we are ready to teach you. And we are teaching it. So when you go to my YouTube page, there's a section for Nigerian history, the truth and the way. Go back there. That is why it is important. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, that is at Nigeria Now on ONN, please, you are a Nigerian, you are an African, please do so. And or you are an inquisitive person, you are a scholar who wants to know something about Africa and its trajectory to now, please follow us on YouTube at Nigeria Now on ONN. You will find the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So what we are talking about today is the national security, worsening insecurity in Nigeria. Do you know what? Boko Haram, bandits seized a Nigerian army military tank. Yes, a few days ago. Bandits, they took Nigerian military tank. They seized it. They took it. And it has been happening. The rogue president now became embarrassed because he has no agenda but to destroy Nigeria. His vice president is a terrorist with link to Boko Haram. God knows that. The people of Nigeria knows that. This was a young man in whose house the terrorists who bombed the United Nations building in Abuja in 2011, they arrested them in his house. That should have been an enough red flag. But like I told you, how the international community, especially the imperialists, operate, they love people like that. People they can blackmail. People they can tell to do whatever they want. People that they can say jump and they will jump. People that they can say close your eyes while we take all your minerals. They will do it. They can't do it to me. They can't do it to people with clean hands. They can't do it to true patriots. That is what is taking place. All our farmlands, all our forests in Nigeria have been occupied. And here we talk about that we are fighting insurgency. We are fighting terrorism in Nigeria. How are we fighting it? When we buy arms and ammunition from the United States and around the world, a great deal of our ammunition end in the hands of the terrorists. And the terrorists have their elements, they have their representatives in the Nigerian armed forces. So the Nigerian army is gone. Like I have always said, make no mistake, don't be deceived, don't be fooled. If you're a Nigerian listening to me, you say you have an army, you don't have an army. The army works with Boko Haram. The army works with the bandits. Check it out. How you know how the army works. You know how the Nigerian army works. The Nigerian army is not the army of the Nigerian people. It exists in the name of Nigeria, but it is an army of those who mastermind terrorism. The command and control infrastructure is in their hands. If you are a Nigerian and you are dependent on the Nigerian armed forces to be your salvation, you are wasting your time because they are not for you. They work with the terrorists. They will defend the bandits. Take for instance, when the people of some villages rise up against the terrorists tormenting their communities, what do you see? The next thing, they deploy the army and they turn the heat on the people instead of going after the bandits. Our territorial integrity has been compromised. Our national sovereignty is under assault in Nigeria. Yes, that is how bad things have gotten in Nigeria. So let's not be deceived about the army, the armed forces, the police. The same elements that control the army, the same elements are the ones controlling the police. The same elements are the ones who controlling the DSS. I was laughing when they said that they removed the former DSS director, Bichi. Yusuf Bichi. Yusuf Bichi, for more than 8 years, has been the DSS director. And a lot of terrorist activities have taken place. And the worst being the assault of the central prison in the heart of Nigeria. They came, Boko Haram came and operated for 3 hours. 3 solid hours. The DSS did not have an intelligence report about that to give to Nigerians. They could not prevent the attack. And when the terrorists came, no one was anywhere to be found. There was no DSS. There was no police. Our armed forces went AWOL. They operated for 3 hours, released all their members standing trial, and went away. And the following week, they came back determined to take Abuja. They came and were loading innocent and defenseless Nigerian citizens into buses and carting them away. They killed quite a few of them. And they said they had a DSS director. I've been telling them, arrest Yusuf Bichi, because he's a terrorist. He's a gatekeeper for the terrorists. He's a gatekeeper for those who are sabotaging our economy. I'm talking about the oil thieves. He knows all these people. He is a part of them. So I was laughing. So, which means they took my advice that I've been given since the past nearly 3 years, that no Nigerian could open up his mouth, because they have reduced our people into vegetables. Nigerians became vegetables. Nigerians are so afraid now to open their mouth to say anything. I was the only one saying it. Arrest this man. He's a terrorist. And there are some more. Majority of the emirs, including the Sultan of Osokoto, is supposed to be under arrest because they know what is taking place. They know what is happening. They know what's up. Yes. Yes, so the bandits captured a Nigerian military tank. Nigerian Armed Forces military tank. Where does that happen? Terrorists captured it. So what is left of Nigeria? And this is the reason why we say, you Nigerians in Nigeria, some of you still have a space to dance. The guests are buying Brazilian hair. You don't even know what is happening around you. You don't know what is about to happen. One day you're going to wake up. You're going to wake up, like Bob Marley said. This morning I woke up in a curfew. Oh Lord, I was a prisoner too. Could not recognize the faces standing over me now. All they were dressed in uniforms of brutality. Hey, how many rivers do we have to cross? Yes, that is what Nigerians will wake up to one day. And I see it in no distant time, unless they rise up now and take their security in their hands without waiting for Bola Tinubu. He's a rogue. He was not elected president of Nigeria. He came through a military coup in violating the constitution of Nigeria, compromising all of our country's strategic national institutions, including the armed forces. He destroyed everything. He destroyed the judiciary. The country is a lawless country right now. People can be carted away and murdered unchallenged, nowhere to hide for the common man. This year is nice. This year is heaven for Nigeria. Next year, we will feel the impact. Unless the people of Nigeria rise in patriotism, unless the people of Nigeria set aside religion, unless the people of Nigeria set aside tribalism, unless the people of Nigeria set aside regional and religious nationalism to unite as one people to oust Bola Ahmed Tinubu in a deserving revolution. That is the only way forward. I will not bank on the Nigerian army to do anything because there are no Nzogos anymore in the Nigerian army. There are no Thomas Sankara anymore in the Nigerian army. There is no Ibrahim Traore in Nigeria. I don't see it. I don't see one. I'll be so surprised to see one Ibrahim Traore. That is why I don't want the military intervention in Nigeria. I want the people of Nigeria to do it by themselves. I want them to do it by themselves. I want them to unite, east, west, north, and south. I don't want any situation where an Igbo man will say, oh, we've been paying the price, let them go and do it. No, if you don't do it, you are a bastard. Because you are the worst hit right now. You had always been the worst hit. So this is a moment for the people of Nigeria to come together to counter these terrorists in government at all levels. I am not just talking about only Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If I'm saying remove only Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that's like a palliative surgery that will bring the cancer back. I want the people of Nigeria to clean the entire political class and the elites known to be causing trouble in Nigeria. They are in the traditional institution. They are in the incorporate Nigeria. Like the people like Dangote. Dangote is a child of the system. All of a sudden, he became an activist because his interest was threatened. Yes, we know them, all of them. The big owners of the big banks in Nigeria that exploit the people 24/7, they are all part of the thing. They need to go down. The people of Nigeria, you are not serious yet. You see, this cowardly behavior is something new to Nigeria. Yes, they say they use the armed forces. The army, the remnants of the army, some of you, I know how it is to be in Nigerian army. I know it very well. I don't need nobody to tell me because I know what's going on. What is going on in the public domain is what is taking place in the Nigerian army. The Nigerian army is in a lockdown mode, controlled by some elements, not even within inside the Nigerian army, but they have a stranglehold over the Nigerian army. If you don't come from certain part of Nigeria, you are in the Nigerian army. You are wasting your time. If you like, be a brigadier general. They are cowards. They can't do anything. It's only when those people from that particular part of Nigeria, that special ethnic group that has held our country hostage, but they are the only one that can plan coup. You see, 10 out of Nigeria's 13 heads of state, 10 are from this minority group. Yes, so what did they do to the whole of Nigeria? Why did all of us become cowards? Why is it that none of us, all of us, are just like this, vegetables? Something is not right. For a minority group whose population is not up to 7 million by the standard of the last Nigerian census, controlling 250 million people. Did they give us some anesthesia? What is wrong with us? Yes, they have the stranglehold on the army. So if you are an officer, you are not from there, you can't be anything. Young, stupid little boys from that particular elitist ethnic group will not take command from commanders, high-ranking officers from somewhere else. Yes, that is something, the thing that we must break. We must break it. If we don't break it, we will continue to suffer. That 10 out of Nigeria's head of states and president are from either this group or somebody they have linked to them. So they are either in power directly or remotely. What happened to Nigeria? What happened to the Nigerian people? So what happened to people from other places? So we are all cowards, second-class citizens of Nigeria, and that's what must change. If we don't change that, we will continue to suffer. But I see it's going to change. It's going to change by force. It's not going to change by negotiation because these people, they don't listen to negotiation. It has to change by force. I saw my friend, Dr. Charles Saboki. I saw him in a very somber mode in one of his video presentations. I cried looking at how he presented his case. It's a hopeless situation, but we can make it hopeful. And that is why we are telling our people, especially the young people, what do you have to live for? You're already dead alive. So why not fight to regain control of your life? So this is where we are. Our country has been taken over. This is not a joke. It's going to require a fierce fight to recover Nigeria. I am not joking. You are a Nigerian, you know what I'm talking about. Go to your village. Go to the bush. They have taken over the bush. In my hometown, they have kidnapped over 70 people. And out of those they kidnapped, over 10 have been killed. They killed them. And the last one that pained me so much was that they threw a baby. His mom had the baby while in captivity. They threw the baby, threw it, and gave it to their dog to devour. The dog ate a Nigerian baby on the Nigerian soil. And there was no reaction from the authority. The police did not do anything. We did not see the army. We did not see the local government chairman. We did not see the man representing our constituency at the Delta State House of Assembly. We did not see our member at the House of Representatives. We did not see our senator, the mosquito-killing senator Ned Nwoko, who is looking for a normal state so he can be the first governor. We did not see him. We did not see anybody. We did not see nothing. But guess what? My people woke up one morning and said, we have had enough of this nonsense. Everybody that we are not sure of in our village has to leave. And you know what happened? Before dawn, it was on BBC. BBC, the same, yeah, Britain, that's what I say. Yeah, the same BBC. They have it on BBC. All the people, the 70 people they killed in my place, we did not go to BBC. So this is where the British conspiracy in the terrorism in Nigeria is coming into effect. And this is why the people of Nigeria must wake up to know that the Britain is not the friend of Nigeria. Britain is not our friend. Britain is an exploiter of Nigeria. Britain is part of the huge problem Nigeria and a great part of Africa has. France is on the other side, destroying Africa at will, wantonly. Yes, so this issue went to Britain. BBC carried the news. And the following day, this situation that happened in a remote town where I was born 62 years ago was on the floor of the National Assembly. You hear that? It was on the floor of Nigeria's National Assembly. You see the conspiracy? You see how deep it is? You see how real what the picture I'm presenting to you, how much Nigeria has been taken over is? So they have constituted themselves into untouchables. Britain is their media outlet. The National Assembly, the Nigerian army covers them. Why they kill our people. And then some people are still telling me about APC, that they are members of APC. APC is a terrorist organization fronting as a political party in Nigeria. Now, the certain, when this matter came up on the floor of the National Assembly, Victor Nwokolo, who is supposed to be the representative of our constituency, Ika Federal Constituency, was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere to be found. Ned Nwoko was nowhere to be found, the senator. He was nowhere to be found. Our saving grace, the man who raised objection was a young man, an Urobo man, I think from Delta South or Delta Central. He was the one who stood up to put the things the way it should be. Our representatives, the ones that our people died for, did not show up. They were nowhere to be found. This is how bad the situation in Nigeria is. We cannot continue it this way. We cannot. I love Nigeria. I want an open Nigeria. That is why I'm at the forefront of driving for an open Nigeria. It's a lot of things that Nigerians are taking for granted. The amalgamation treaty that brought the North and Southern Protectorate. Yes, the North and Southern Protectorate together expired in 2014. So we are a people who have no respect for legal document. We have no respect for legal contract. Nigeria effectively expired in 2014. The Nigeria we have right now is an illegal Nigeria. Illegal Nigeria. Nigeria expired in 2014, and there was supposed to be a renegotiation of Nigeria. Now and in an expanded format, because the first one was signed, the amalgamation treaty was signed by only 6 people. We thought maybe they were entrepreneurs, because Nigeria at the time, what became Nigeria was like a plantation. All right, a plantation, vast plantation that the British now decided to organize together for better administrative administrative convenience, so it would be good for them. So that was why they successfully introduced the indirect rule in the north that worked. It didn't work so well in the south of Nigeria because they had the Igbos to fight. The Igbos battled them to stand still. I think that is where they decided to punish them. So when they decided in 1914 to bring the northern and southern protectorate together, they selected 6 people. There are 6 of their allies, those that they can bend, those that they can talk down, those that they could, manipulate. Now, listen, 2 were Fulanis with ties to Osman Dan Fodio, the man who invaded Hausa kingdom, killed all their kings, took all their lands, and enthroned his brothers and sisters, and maybe some of his children, as emirs across the north of Nigeria. And that is a tradition that is still existing today. All the emirs in the north of Nigeria, yes, in all the Hausa states, they are all Fulanis. None is Hausa. They are minority Fulanis presiding over overwhelming Hausa majority. What an unfair people. What an unfair system. And this is a country that spent billions of dollars fighting apartheid in South Africa. We have apartheid right on our nose. We are not able to fight it. The Hausa people have been subjugated for a sum total of 220 years today, as we speak, 2024, maybe 220 years that these people have been under subjugation. They have been decimated and reduced below humans. Yes, they are in the shadows. They are millions, a multitude of them. They are like rabbits in Nigeria. Yeah, under the manipulation of these elitist Ottoman and Fulani children. Yes, that's how wicked they are. And they are the nemesis. They use the Hausa people to hold Nigeria down. They use the Hausa people as cannon fodders. They are the ones that they use to win elections illegally and illegitimately. They are the ones that go across the border to bring voters into Nigeria to vote in Nigerian elections. They are the ones that they bring to increase population that defies biology. Yeah. The population in Nigeria, especially in the north of Nigeria, defies all biological principles. Yes, that is how the abracadabra Nigeria is. And that is what they have been always preventing us. They don't want us to talk about it. When we talk about it, they raise the daggers, they raise the AK-47 and all that. So Nigeria is an expired country. We need to renegotiate it. Instead of them coming, letting us come to a table to talk about the future of Nigeria, whether to be together or otherwise, they picked up guns. They picked up AK-47 and started shooting up the country to blackmail us into submission to their whims and caprices. Yeah, and sadly, some people from other parts of the country are so less than, they can't think, they are not thinking because they are corrupt. They are negotiating with these criminals. No. That is why Nigeria is stuck. Legally, Nigeria is illegal. Me, I want Nigeria to be one. Me, I want a new deal for the whole of Nigeria. Me, I want an open Nigeria with free, fair, equal, unlimited, and unconditional access to opportunity to all Nigerians to grow and develop and to progress and prosper according to their abilities and levels of competency. That is all. That's what drives the United States, even if with its own shortfall, shortcomings. But it's a fair deal. That's what we want. They don't want us to talk about it. And that is why there's confusion. So those people who are shooting up Nigeria, they are shooting up Nigeria uh, based on the amalgamation treaty of 1914 that has expired. They have this impression that they are the senior partners, they are the owners of Nigeria. My tribe, where I come from, the Ika people, they were not signatory to the amalgamation treaty. And over 300, over nearly 400 ethnic nationalities were not part of the amalgamation treaty. That is why it is important right now, most important, for all of us to have append our signature in the new Nigeria. That is what they don't want. That is why they have made the country a hell. All the corruption in Nigeria, 90% of it are orchestrated by them. They call themselves Northerners. They come in the name of the North. Yes, these criminals come in the name of the North. But guess what? They don't care who is the North. It's majorly the Hausa people. They don't give a damn about the Hausa people, but they use it. They use the Hausa people to blackmail Nigeria. They use the Hausa people to take away from Nigeria, to rip Nigeria off, and then put in their pocket. They don't give anything back to the people of the North, and specifically the Hausa people. So that is why it is important for the Hausa man listening to me now, like we have been telling you, it's time for you to demand for your promissory note from Nigeria. Don't be in the shadow anymore. Come out. You are bona fide Nigerians. You can be president. As big as the population of the Hausa people are in Nigeria, or is in Nigeria, there is no Hausa governor. There is none. But they are the voters. They are the ones who win election for them. They are the ones that bring little children to vote, underage children. They are the ones who will vote multiple times for them. But they don't give them access to anything. Over 20 million of their children from age 6 to maybe 14, 15 are on the street begging when they are supposed to be in the class. Is that fair? They are Nigerians. They are human beings. But they are treated like animals in their own country. That is where we are as a people. But Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder that is going to explode very soon, unless something drastic and urgent is done. That is where we are. Looking at how Nigeria came into 2023 in an election that was supposed to redraw, an election that was supposed to be a ballot revolution, how it ended, how they skewed it, how they messed it up in order for them to continue their business as usual was most painful. How they gang up. The gang up that started in 1914 is still very much alive. They brought that gang up to the table of independence. And 6 years after that, they came and created the worst human tragedy in Africa. Yes, that killed over 5 million Igbos. Yes, the same people created it. And look at where. And since then, Nigeria has been limping. How long will Nigeria limp? How long are we going to limp? The biggest economy, that's what they call it in Africa, unemployed economy, jobless economy. But they say it's the biggest economy in Africa, perhaps because of the size. Yes, the most populous African nation that is supposed to be the pride of the black people. Yeah, that the black people should be coming to Nigeria on pilgrimage, like people go to Saudi Arabia, like people go to Israel. That is what Nigeria is supposed to represent for the black people around the world. But we have failed so woefully. We have failed. We have become such an unconscious people that allow criminals to be leaders of our country. And this is why we are where we are. This is why everything is messed up. This is why our army is messed up. This is why the leadership of the army have become a politicized leadership that, abdicate their responsibility. They are derelicts, morally treasonous. They are making political statements while Boko Haram and bandits are making gains, taking our territories, seizing our military tanks. Lagbaja and Christopher Musa, shame on you. And I hope you are hearing. I hear they ask them to relocate to Sokoto. It's relocation. We have heard that many times in the past. People all the army generals relocated to Borno at one time. Did they defeat Boko Haram? Boko Haram is still pummeling them, killing innocent young officers because the bigger officers are involved in armed deals. They sell ammunition to Boko Haram. That's why that war can never end. It can never be won because it's a business. And that is what they have been doing across the board. Now, our people are becoming more endangered by the day. They are inching closer by the minute. And in no distant time, unless we rise up, they will take Nigeria and turn it into hell on earth. It's already getting there. What can we do, the people of Nigeria? Now it's solution time. You know your people. Every time you had the opportunity to choose leaders, what did you do? You sowed your votes for the most part. Whenever there was time for people to choose people, some of you stayed away from voting because you say your vote will not count. Some of you will come and think that somebody has to pay you to be a patriotic citizen. Look at all the countries that made progress, are making progress. They made progress not because of their leaders. They made progress because of the level of consciousness of their citizens. When Nigerians, they say we are so educated. What has our education amounted to? All the young children, they have degrees, but a lot of them cannot even make a statement. They cannot even express themselves. Over 100 million people registered to vote in the 2023 election. But how many people came out to vote? A paltry 28 million. So what happened to the other nearly 80 million votes? What happened? Where are they? Did the people die? What happened? Did they all migrate? Yes, I know that migration is high. People are running away from Nigeria in droves. But 80 million people could not have left Nigeria within that short space of time. Something is wrong with you, citizens of Nigeria. You registered to vote. You mustered the courage to register to vote, to come and drop the ballot in a box so that it could be counted. Became a problem. And then you gave the opportunity to this thief, Bola Tinubu and his gang of rogues, nearly all five. I know 5 of them that are working with him. Some are state governors. All of them have been to prison in the United States. They have been banished from coming here. Some of them ran away because of fraud that they committed. They are wanted here by FBI. All are his drug boys that are occupying very sensitive and strategic position in Nigeria. And you want Nigeria to be safe and secure. Yeah, by the way, yesterday I made a post about my friend, my brother, Major Kaduna Nzogu, the most patriotic Nigerian military officer that has ever lived. He saw trouble as a director of military intelligence in his time. He saw trouble coming, and then he intervened to save Nigeria. And they labeled him Igbo, that it was an Igbo coup. How was that coup an Igbo coup? Where did the Igbos sit together in any place to decide that they were going to overthrow the government of Nigeria? So what type of army did we have at the time? Was it not a Nigerian army? Was it an Igbo army? It was not. And who said that all the officers who took part in that coup were Igbos. No, that was a lie. The narrative that ever corrupt Nigerian media had always peddled. And then armchair historians driven by tribalism. That is what they are known for, to demonize the Igbos. Yeah, because they are the tribe that must be hated for Nigeria to continue to run itself aground. Yeah, that was what happened. So he took over. He went and took over the government. Hold on. Let's see. All right. Yes, so he intervened. Now, let me give you a lowdown of what happened. So this plan to take Nigeria has been ongoing. Ahmadu Bello sponsored Ladoke Akintola to create trouble in the west of Nigeria. There was a big fight to the extent that they named it Wild Wild West. All right? They were lighting people up and all that. The reason was to destabilize the country. All right? And then institute an extreme religious polity with which they will continue. Their plan was to continue the work of Osman Dan Fodio too soon after independence. So this young man saw it and quickly rallied and intervened. In the process, some people were killed, including the Ahmadu Bello. Yeah, the nemesis, the first man who shot Nigeria in the brain right at independence. Now, the narrative they carry was that Nzogu killed him. Yes, I think Nzogu killed him. But they did not, no, the historians, these fake historians in Nigeria, don't talk about what he said at independence. A BBC journalist was interviewing him. I still have it. Interviewed him. He was asking him. He made a very bad hate statement against the Igbos right at independence. Very hateful statement. Now, those people, they don't talk about what he said. This man has many streets, a university named after him, a hater, an evil man, a wicked man, a non-patriot, a man who never believed in Nigeria. They named the universities, they named roads. He's a hero to some people, but it's not a Nigerian hero. He was the man who shot Nigeria in the brain right on day one. The grandfather of hate, the grandfather of religious extremism. Yes, but they don't want us to talk about him. So when they want you to be ashamed of talking about Kaduna Nzogu, Major Kaduna Nzogu, who stood up in defense of his fatherland. If I were in his position, I would do the same and even more. So I am proud of him. He is my hero, and he's a hero of a lot of people who are silent for fear of one thing or the other. Some who are looking for political position. Major Nzogu is not a leper. I am so proud to identify with him. If people can identify with a terrorist, if people can identify with Ahmadu Bello, why should I not identify with Nzogu? I am proud of him. Nzogu wanted the same thing that I want for Nigeria today. He wanted an open Nigeria. He wanted an egalitarian Nigeria. He wanted a Nigeria that would be open to all. He wanted a Nigeria that will work for all. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Camille. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you from Poland. I appreciate you. Thank you. You know, so he wanted a Nigeria that would be open to everybody. So he's not a villain. He's a hero. I am so proud of associating myself with him. If they had allowed him, and then now I want to tell some tribal bigots, some who are so ignorant that they don't know the history of Nigeria. When he carried out the coup succeeded. Who was to be made prime minister? He was to make Prime Minister Awolowo, Obafemi Awolowo, was to be named the Prime Minister because they believed that he was a better leader. They believed that he could transform Nigeria. He did not plan the coup for him to become head of state. Yeah. So this message is for some Yoruba bigots who lie behind the evil of some Fulani elites who have been in cahoot with them to hold Nigeria down. So this is a message for you. If you want a reference from what the Awolowo's confidential secretary, Odia Ofemu, wrote a book on it. He confirmed it, that the coup was supposed to make Awolowo the Prime Minister of Nigeria with executive power. He did not say that Nzogo did it to be the head of state of Nigeria. It was not an Igbo coup. Now I am telling you who listen, there were Fulanis who were a part of that coup. There were Hausas who were part of that coup. There were thieves who were part of that coup. Nzogo is from actually Delta State. If Nzogo was alive, it is hard now to decide whether if he was going to say that he's an Igbo man or from somewhere from Okpanam. It's only, he's not here with us to defend himself. But they put it's an Igbo man. It's an Igbo coup. There were some other Igbos associated. It wasn't an Igbo coup. It was a Nigerian coup carried out under the color of Nigerian army uniforms. So you who believe in the bullshit of Igbo coup, now you must ask yourself a question. What about all the other coups that took place? Now I'm going to name them. The coup that brought Gowon to coup. So it was a Fulani coup. Why didn't you name it a Fulani coup? Why didn't you name it a Fulani coup? The coup that brought Murtala Mohammed. Yes, the first man who wanted to divide Nigeria. Why wasn't it a Fulani coup? That's coup number 2, orchestrated from the north of Nigeria by Fulanis. All right? So why were there not Fulani coups? Gowon, why was his coup not a Fulani coup? Murtala Mohammed, why was his coup not a Fulani coup? Muhammadu Buhari, why was he a Fulani man? Why was his coup not a Fulani coup? Ibrahim Babangida, he has ties to Fulanis. Why was his coup not a Fulani coup? You want us to continue? Sani Abacha, his coup. Why was his coup not a Fulani coup? How many coups have we done? Over 6 of them. So why didn't they call them Fulani coup? You unfair Nigerians. Nigerians are so hollow in the head. And you see some supposed intellectuals like, oh Lord, I don't want to call names. When you hear them discuss, you want to tear your certificate. I don't even talk about my certificate anymore. As far as I'm concerned, I am not educated. If I was educated the way Nigerians talk about education, then I would be a fool. I am inspired. No more education. The education Nigerians have is just grade wash education. Education that make you a fool, an idiot, is not an education. Education that make you run away from the truth and not speak the truth is not education. Brainwash education. Nonsense education. We need to educate ourselves for who we are, looking at our environment. And this generation can do it. That is why I've been constantly telling this younger generation, divorce yourselves from tribalism. These old cargoes, that is only what they know. That's how they try. Don't let them infect you with tribalism. I resisted it. I cannot. Have you ever heard me say anything about my tribe? I do have a tribe. I come from somewhere in Nigeria. Even people from my tribe, they don't even like me because I am not projecting their tribe. No. When I go to that level of tribe, we talk about tradition, yes. But when we come to the table of Nigeria, I'm not going to be telling you about my tribe. For what? It's country first. Every other thing last. But some people cannot do without tribes in Nigeria. And that is why our country is stuck. That is why Boko Haram is killing us. We cannot unite to fight against them. So this young generation, I beg you again, in the name of whatever you believe, sequester yourself from tribalism. Sequester yourself from blind religious nationalism. Sequester yourself from blind regional nationalism. Nigeria is supposed to be one. We are not supposed to be hearing north or south. And this northern thing is that is the most prominent one. It's so dangerous. It's a curse. If you call yourself a northerner, you know what? You are bringing a curse upon yourself. Now, you know what it means to be a northerner for the elite? You are a thief. Because all those who stole Nigerian money, brought Nigeria on the canvas, majority of them came from the north. Yes. So you should not be proud to be a northerner. You are a terrorist. That's another thing it means. Terrorism has its roots in the north of Nigeria. The people who are pushing terrorism are elites from the north of Nigeria. Your emir, your sultan, your northern leaders, your northern scholars, your northern religious leaders, majority of them are behind Boko Haram. So do you want to identify with them? Are you proud of them? They are the ones setting you back. Now, for the poor person from the north, what north means for you is ignorance, stupidity, lack of education, illiteracy, disease, hunger, subservience, slavery. Yes, and all kinds of nonsense. And that is why they don't want you to unite with the rest of Nigeria, because they want to keep you in chains. Because when they keep you in chains, you keep them in business. You are, or the oxygen that they are using to breathe down on Nigeria. I tell you, the day you remove that gas, oxygen from them, they will die off. Now, that is what you must do. Hausa man, thief man, bearer man, Igala man, come out of the yoke of this northern nonsense. For the South, it does not exist. Any person who tells you he's a Southerner, ask him why he makes a Southerner. Tell him what unity exists in the South. There's nothing holding anybody in the South together as one. Is it Yoruba and Igbos, they are cat and dogs? Are they agreeing? So what is the South for? It's rubbish, nonsense. But the North do have. But the North is crumbling. It's Amadu Bello that created it that way. So we have to break his bondage over the people of the North. We have to break that curse of the North so we can unite Nigeria and put Nigeria on a new document. And that is what must happen. And it must happen sooner than later. We want it now before it is too late. But for the rest of Nigeria, I tell you, at all levels, stand up against those who are attacking your villages. They are an extension of Osman Dan Fodio soldiers. You know, people want to be politically correct. I don't want to be politically nice. I want to be morally correct. And that is what it is. It's not an accident. It is an orchestrated plan to overrun Nigeria. So if you think that is something that is going to go away with you doing nothing, it is not going to go away. You will end up losing your life. You will end up losing your family. You will end up losing your lives. You will end up losing your tradition. You will end up losing everything. So you must stand up. We don't care how much BBC will cry. Stand up and fight back. That is what you are. You don't have no army. You don't have no police to fight back for you. Everybody go back to your hometown and organize and fight those who are fighting you. Hey, it's been such a great pleasure hanging with you for over an hour here. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. And please come back and watch us on the next video that we're going to be showing. We are gradually getting into the American segment of our broadcast. We're going to be airing the U.S. election, presidential election, coming up on November 5th. In no time, we will we will start, beaming our lights and on our radar on that very, very historic election that is, we believe, is going to produce an upset. Yes, so stay tuned for it and gear up for it. Meanwhile, if you have not followed me, please, I need your support, to advance this message, this very, very important message. It's not just a message for Africa. It's not just a message for Nigeria. It's a message for the whole of the world. And I know that I'm speaking to people from some countries with problems that are similar to what we are dealing with in Africa and Nigeria in particular. God bless you, and God bless Nigeria. God bless Africa. God bless the United States, and God bless the world. May the young people of this generation across the world unite for the good of the world. We are tired of wars. We want peace and global security. Much love.